Welcome again to another installment of URP Practical Talk. I'm your host, Ps Wendell Jeffrey, and I want to thank you so much for again tuning in and joining us. Remember that you can visit us on the World Wide Web at www.urp.com, or you can follow us on our Facebook page at URP Guyana. Guyana is going to have to, as we look at the constitutional reform, we're going to have to find a way to have the persons in the outlying area of Guyana be properly represented at the central government level, because there's a lot of frustration that is going on out there. And in the studio with me today is a young man who's going to talk about some of the problems that he's having way out there in the Pomeroon. So we're going to jump right into it and take a break and welcome Dr. I'm getting
Thank
my
you.
weekend. How are you, Dr. Bandu?
Fine, thank
You good? You're
Fine,
fresh?
thank
You're
Yes,
doing good?
I'm doing
You've been traveling around. Doc, you came to the studio today and you've got some pressing things on your mind. One of them is the way the media treats independent and objective voices. What's really happening in your heart?
Well, what had been happening, the same thing continue all the time, not only in this administration, also the last administration. We have applied for the NCN to air our program since last year around October.
Correct.
We sent about 3 sets of mail to them already. The last mail we copied to the Prime Minister, which he said he replied me and said they will look into it.
Okay.
But it doesn't seem like nobody looks into anything, because recently, 2 weeks ago, we had our opening of the Linden office. We had an enormous amount of people. You could have seen it on our picture. You know, we have double the amount that we had expected. Okay. We even ran out of food. We had to order more food. Following that, we had a gifts from the New York group who came here.
Okay.
Right at the Linden office, where they give children, 60 children, they present them with book bags, book, pen, pencils, sweets, meal, and everything. Okay. The media of the NCN in Linden, okay, they were there, taking interview and so on with me and so forth, but still, they did not show it on the news in Linden.
Wow.
You know? So it is very disturbing to know that how these television, the NCN, supposed to be the people's channel. The peoples are subsidizing toward the NCN. And we are not asking for something free. We are paying our money to get on the air, but still we are denied.
Now you said that this is not a practice that is happening only in this current administration. You said it is something that comes over from the last administration. Talk a little about that.
Yeah, because I could recall when this administration was blaming the other administration for not airing certain programs. Now they come and they're doing the same thing. It's no different. That is what when the election time I said we want a real change in Guyana, democratic change. We do not want an exchange. And if you vote for this administration, it's an exchange. And we see it clearly. It is an exchange we are having in Guyana. Not free and fair. It's not democracy is not prevailing. So we are being denied as a political party to air our program on NCN. They came there. They show up at our children gathering where they interview me. Still, it's not on the program.
So I want to push you a little, because you've been around the political arena for a long time, Dr. Bandu. What do you think is happening that is causing them to not air the programs, air our programs? It's causing them to sideline us. What do you really think is happening?
From my experience in politics, the government of the day always interject what should be aired and what shouldn't be aired. Okay. It interjects by the government. And it is a slap into their face to see that we went in Linden and make such an inroad. So they do not want the people to see it, but they are seeing it in our program. All over the other part of the country, it shows on our program that what the enormous amount of people showed up at the opening of the Linden office in Linden. Now, even I am surprised, some of the newspapers didn't even carry it. You know, because I don't know why they didn't carry it, because picture tells a lot of stories. You know, and probably they do not want to show it because or somebody interject from government, man, you all should hold back this thing and don't show it because the media was there also, but they didn't carry it. You know what's happening. So these are the kind of sadness in our country, that where we talk about democracy, and there's no democracy. There is no democracy in Guyana. We are seeing it every day from since this administration took over, the dictatorial attitude of this government. They keep on in the dictatorial way.
So, Doc, where do you go from here? Is it that you're going to continue to air these grievances? Are you going to write some more correspondences to the NTN particularly? You're going to copy more to the Minister of Public Information, Prime Minister Nagamutu. Where do you go from here? Because it seems as though there have to be a resolution to this problem.
Yeah, there should be a resolution to the problem because, you know, but what we are doing here is like trying devil in hell. This is what we are doing here. Because no matter what you say about democracy in Guyana, this government does show a deaf ear.
You know, well, I want to say this here because what you know, the Bible talks about what is meant for bad turning out to be good, because I think that what is happening is that the average objective person is beginning to assess, especially the two major parties. People are beginning to look at them and it is giving way for people to begin to think of a third force. So it is that probably what is happening in the negative might eventually work out to your good, you know. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe you can keep agitating and hope that common sense would prevail. But if it doesn't, let's hope that the population, the Guyanese, would understand that there is need for some objective voice at the administrative level of this country so that small people can have their voice. Which brings me into the second thing I know that you have on your heart. There are people in the outlying areas in Guyana who hear from the politicians, particularly around election time. You have got a grave, you've always highlighted that as a concern. You've been going around the country, you've been listening to people. Talk a little about that, and then I want you to introduce the guest that you brought here on studio today.
It is true that all over Guyana in the outer areas that politicians have not been paying no heed to these people. Always you hear them in the city, you know, in Georgetown, in New Amsterdam, in, you know, in other city areas like Linden and so forth. And that is why I always say that the city has the racial problem what we are facing here today. It's not the country area. Okay. We have seen this over and over. Only when the political bell rang, then you see the politician go. But what the URP has been doing from after the 100 days of this administration, when they failed to come up with the thing that they said they will do, okay, the URP has been campaigning. Because the URP believes strongly that every political party should campaign round the clock. Go to the people, find out their problem, and table their problem to the right sources so that they can get some kind of result in it. And the URP has been doing that. But eventually, I think the URP are forcing them also to start doing that. Okay. Because the PPP are going and keep on two meeting now. The PNC also going, the APNO, AFC, also going and keep meeting now. So we are forcing their hand to go to the people. And the URP has been doing that. And because of us, these things are happening.
Okay.
Right?
And so you have in studio with you today Mr. Mohammed, and he's one of the persons that you would have encountered who represents a group out there. Tell us a little about him, and then let him state his concern.
Well, Mr. Mohammed is the secretary of the Pomeroon Association, Boat Owners Association.
Boat Owners, okay.
And I was in Pomeroon a few days back, and there was a gathering of people who would come and approach me and talking about their concern and what's happening with them in Pomeroon with the boat situation of registration, getting licensed, and they feel very, very much the government is very much unfair to them, because even the little boats, and he will tell you about it. You know, you want to charge them, charge them license and so forth, what to bring in their produce. You know, now people walk on the street, on the road where they have road, they don't pay license. But this here, the Pomeroon River, in my book, is like a road, because they have no other way of transportation but road. So how can you charge these ordinary farmers, if the boat is over 20 feet long, charge them license to bring out their produce? That is the only means of transportation.
Okay, so let's
hear from Mr. Mohammed what he has to say.
So, Mr. Mohammed, what is really happening? What's your concern and what? Yeah, go ahead. What's the problem you're having there?
First of all, before we start, I just want to thank you for having me here. I really appreciate the your concern. Okay. Thank you. We have a concern right now affecting us in the Pomeroon River, and it doesn't affect one person; it affects every one of us for every level. Because take into consideration our geographic location, our layout there. Okay. It's not like the Supernam crossing or like the Virginia Hoop crossing. We are wholly solely dependent on boat. That is our main access to wherever point we want to go, wherever direction we might want to go. We might want to come to Charity, where is our point of shopping, our town where we reach every day. We bring our produce, where we meet, where we have to bring sick, where we have to bring school children, where we have to bring teachers, and every other direction we might have to move with boat and getting people from point to point. We on the Pomeroon River, on the left bank and the right bank, we are dependent on boat. The farmers are 95% people in the Pomeroon River, and we are dependent on boat, entirely on boat. Sorry.
Yeah, but how many people you think is affected by this?
The whole of the Pomeroon River, from Karawab to all the Amerindian areas, coming down to the river mouth, and in the other Wakapau, Akawini area, and everybody have to come to Charity, have to use a boat. They are our only means getting to Charity by boat. Grocery, farming, whatever, lumbering, whatever, we have to come by boat.
All right, so tell me a little, how long has this problem you've been having this problem? Is this a new thing? Is this years old? What is really happening?
Yeah, it's an old thing. From the previous government, we've been having consultation with them, and then they are not impressing us so hard. But right now, the Maritime Department came down to the Pomeroon River, and with the Coast Guard, they collaborated, and they started to seize boat. 2 Mondays ago, they were seizing boat, they were bullying us, and they were threatening us. Threats were made to us that they were going to tie up our boat, and we will have to go to report to the station, and different things. We've been threatened, and the resident in the Pomeroon River doesn't like the approach that they took. Come with us. Come on board. Let us have consultation. We are willing to talk. You know, we are willing to hear what you have to say. Hear our views also, because right now we've been facing flood. Every year we have a flood in the Pomeroon River. The spring tide is getting higher every time. We have to deal with dams. We have to deal with everything in labor, in farming, in engine, in gasoline. Look at this sky rate for the gasoline price. We have to get our children to school. Everything we do, we are faced with a challenge in the Pomeroon River right now, and then the license and the registration is not going to work for us. It's an extra burden on us. It's an extra load on our shoulder. We are facing a lot there. We are facing how can I bring 1,500 water coconut to Charity where we have to sell it with a 20-foot boat? I need a big boat. I need a boat where I can have space, where I can have a lot of height on the water, so I can be safe from the wave. If I have to cut 1,500 coconut from my farm and bring it to charity with a 20-feet boat, I will have to make a 5-6 trip. Look at the extra cost, look at the gasoline, look at the work, man.
So,
look
Mr. Mohammed, what you're saying that the 20-feet boat and below, they would not charge a license for that.
Yes, sir.
But it still affects farmers.
Still affects
right?
us in a big way.
You was telling me also that last week, the fishery department, the fishing boat, that they seized the boat.
Yes.
They don't want the boat to go in the sea.
Right.
And you was telling me that they had to bribe someone.
Yes.
You know, for the boat to go.
That is correct.
Right? Can you elaborate a little on that?
Yes. Well, Mr. Flores from the Maritime Department came down to the Pomeroon River, and we had a meeting with him on the Charity Wharf. So he said, if you go ahead and you buy this package, that what I have in my hand, if you buy this package, they will issue a receipt, and the receipt will just, when the Coast Guard stop you, the receipt will show that you are in a process of getting this license. You are in the process of getting this license. So the Coast Guard will let you go. But they went on a fishing boat, and one of the residents in the Pomeroon River told the association that they hold this boat, and they presented the license to the Coast Guard, and the Coast Guard paid no attention to the license, the receipt that was issued to them, and they had to give the Coast Guard $15,000. And so they can go to sea because they already load ice, and you can't detain when you have ice in your ice bag.
So even though they paid, the Coast Guard still impounded the boat?
No. When they paid the Coast Guard...
No, even though they paid and had a receipt.
They had a receipt that they paid to the Maritime Department, the office.
Right.
A charity.
And you're saying the Coast Guard still had them pay a bribe?
Pay a bribe.
To be released.
To be released.
If I got you right, what you're saying that when you go to the office of the Maritime in charity, if you applied for your license, they give you pay and you get a receipt.
You get a receipt.
Right?
Yes.
And then they told you also that when you get that receipt, if anyone stop you to present the receipt.
That's right.
But that does not work with the Coast Guard.
Yes, that does not work.
So how many boats like this, fishing boat, this happened to?
Well, in recent, only about 2 weeks now, it's two person. One
two
guy
person.
came forward to me, and he told me, and I gave him Mr. Flores' number to get on directly to him and tell him what is going on. And he told me there was another guy who had been suffering in the same area with him. But they're affecting the coastal boat who carry load to Georgetown, who carry water, coconut, banana, and all the produce of the farmers. And when this boat who come to big market wharf, and when they go back, they carry down freight, like mattress, bed, and different stuff. And the Coast Guard time to time will pull in that boat. I don't know why they do that, because that is a coastal boat plying the rivers and the sea to get produce to Georgetown and down freight back.
So I'm sure that if they take money from boat to go out, they will also take to come in. You know, God knows when this corruption and this bribery will finish in our country. When would it really finish? And the government has not been looking into this. They let it ride all the time. There is no difference in the last administration from this administration. And it's becoming worse and worse every day. So, you know.
Mr. Mohammed, you've come all the way from Pomeroon. You left your home early this morning because you're very concerned. You were speaking as a farmer, right? I get it, right? Yeah. So you're saying that the farmers are being asked to pay these licensing fees and so on. But you said that there's a number of things that affect you guys that the government is not able to help with. You talk about flooding. What are some of the other things that you have to finance yourself that really you should be getting assistance from the government with?
Right now, the Sea Defense is helping one person with cooker.
Okay.
Getting the cooker fixed. Okay. But there are other problems. There are other situations that the government need to come in and talk to us. Okay. We want them to come and talk to us. We have our concern. We have what we want to share with them and talk with them. We want to see them. We want to see the minister who is involved with I don't know if it's power or works. Who is involved with this maritime? Who is giving ministry to liaison?
So Mr. Mohammed, what you're saying that before they start pulling these boats, they never come and consult with you guys?
Good.
There was no
Run it on
consultation.
TV, send flyers, let us know that you are coming in.
Okay.
You know, not just come and bully us.
As the secretary of the association, how many persons you guys have in this association, so that if the minister is looking or if any of his aides is looking, how many people are in the association that they could meet with to discuss these grievances you guys have?
Hundreds. We have hundreds. We
100.
have over 200 signatures. Over 200 signatures for residents who are signed up with us.
To meet.
Yes, so we can have meeting and the people can share their views. We don't want nothing to slam down in our throat. We don't want you to come to intimidate us and bully us. We want you to come to talk with us. Let us talk. You know, let us reason together. That's what the Bible says. Come on, let us reason together.
Well, that has been something going on all over this country. The government make decision without even having any discussion with the people. All over this country, that has been happening.
And Doc,
They have no respect for no one.
you've been talking about the notion that you don't feel that we're democratic. You feel that there's that even though we vote in a democratic way, that Guyana really does not have full democracy. What do you mean when you say that?
Because everything that what they say has to be carried out. You know, it's not what's supposed to be, but what they say. No, it doesn't matter how much the people in Guyana are saying that this is very hard on us. We can't survive with this. You're still going on doing the same thing. It's like a bullyism, you know. And I think they're only doing this to pay themselves in Parliament, because they've got to find ways and means for the big fat money that they're receiving in Parliament, you know. So they keep on doing this all the time, over and over, you know. And the poor people in Guyana has to keep on suffering all the time, you know. And that's what I meant.
Okay, so you're thinking that even if in a democracy, the people are the ones who have the power.
The people's voice should be heard,
Right, and that-
right? Because the people is the boss technically. The people's money are paying those in Parliament, paying the president, the prime minister, all the ministers. You know, they're not paying themselves. It's the people's money. So why the people's voice cannot be heard? Why the people's voice cannot be, you know, they cannot rule on those things? Huh? You know?
Okay.
So, you know, it is unfair that these people, they make so many promises before the election, and they go on against every one of the promises they make. Everything has gone down. You know? So where are we going? Where are we going? Where this administration is going? Every day they think they're doing the best in Parliament, but they do not know the damages what they're doing. You know, they're causing more prostitution. They're causing more suicidal. They're causing more stealing. They're causing everything down the line of the law. All the crime, they're causing it. You know, they keep on doing the same thing. And because of their attitude, because of what they're doing, causing all these things, and they don't seem to understand it. Because they're sitting on their desk, behind their desk, and they're receiving their nice coffee and their nice lunch, and go and take their family and friends out of the restaurant when the nights come, and say they're doing business, you know, and enjoying their life, while the people are suffering in Guyana. Suffering tremendously in Guyana. So tell me, where are we really going?
You've been going around the country, and I guess that you're speaking from a position of hurt. You're speaking from a position of passion, because you've been traveling the country and you've been hearing these things, and I guess that's what's happening. The constant cry of people needing help, people whose voices are not being heard. Is it that what's troubling you?
Pastor, I don't think you got a politician or any one of them in government travel with me in Guyana, in the political arena. Right? And when I see little children, when I see they can't go to school, and you ask them why you're not going to school, Mommy don't have money to send me. You know, it tore me apart when those things. Look at this gentleman area, Pomeroon River. They have all those missions. They have, I think, on the eastern side, they got about 3 missions. The western side, they got about the next 2, 3 missions. Those children, you know how much to go from that mission, from the last mission to come? Probably about $1,000 for transportation for one person. They don't have a secondary school. President Granger had get some people to donate a boat where they transport people. One boat, probably taking about 20-something students to come out to charity. Come one time in the morning, go back by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, what happened with the other students? One boat cannot bring those students, all the students out. So now, the other students who are willing to go further their study, they left behind. The parents don't have money, so they got to go and try to dig some farming and do some farming, dig some balangi or baigan or what they have to do in the back dam to, plant and reap cassava and so forth. Now, that is very unfair for a young person in this country who want to develop themselves in the education thing. It is very unfair. And I know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking something that I'm hearing. I am talking something that I'm seeing. I'm going on the spot and I'm seeing it. Everything on this program is not somebody tell me.
I know you've been.
Right? It's where I'm going and where I'm visiting and seeing what's happening in our country.
All right, Doc, we're out of time here. But before I come back to you, Mr. Mohammed, just one more appeal. I want, as we close out, take 10 seconds and talk to the administration of the country. Go ahead.
Yes. I just want to make an appeal. If you're viewing right now, or maybe later on you might view this tape, we want to have consultation with you. We want you to come down. We want the minister or somebody to come down, talk to the resident of the Pomeroon, reach with us. We are willing to reach with you. We're willing to have talk. We're willing to tell you our concern. We want you to come to hear what we have to say, because we have so many things, so many areas that we gotta look on when it comes to a daily basis, when it comes to gasoline, when it comes to engine, when it comes to boat, when it comes in terms of transportation, we depend on boat. So you gotta look at us in a different angle. Don't look at us as Supernam, don't look at us as Breeding Hoop, don't look at us on every other part. Because when the Supernam finish working, they gone home, they jump in the car, they don't live on the riverbank. They don't live on the riverbank. The people on the Breeding Hoop, they don't live on the riverbank. So we're appealing to you. We're the resident of the Pomeroon River. Appealing to you, come and let us talk. And let us have something tangible. Let us have something reasonable that we can work it. We're not failing. We don't want to disobey the law. We want to work. We want to have something that something workable for us. The resident in the Pomeroon River is appealing on you. We are calling on you. We have students, we have farmers, we have teachers who have to go to work. We have people who have to go to church. We have people who have to go to the battlefield sports. We have people who have to go to Monday. We have people who have to go to the mass. All we need all these people, they need boat on a daily basis. Pregnant people who have to come to charity, we need boat. So come and let us stop.
Mr. I hear your appeal. We're completely out of time. Folks, we want to thank you so much for joining us today at URP Practical Talk. Remember, visit us on the web, www.urpguyana.com, or on our Facebook page. Again, we thank you for joining us. God bless you. Same time, on this same station next week, we'll be back. Peace out. Bye-bye.